For our project, we explored how choosing the direct server operating system can impact an organization's IT infrastructure, especially in terms of efficiency, security, and scalability. Our report compares two major options, Microsoft Windows Server and Fedora Server. Windows Server is known for its enterprise-ready features like Active Directory and integration with Microsoft services. Meanwhile, Fedora Server offers open-source flexibility and supports modern tech like containers and automation. We compared both systems across 6 key areas: architecture, performance, security, admin tools, deployment, and cost. Our goal is to give organizations a clearer picture of which system fits their technical needs and long-term strategy. In the end, we provide tailored recommendations based on different use cases.
Right, for system architecture, Windows Server use a hybrid system. Most services run in one kernel space for speed, but key parts can be swapped like models. It supports preemptive multitasking and priority scheduling, so high priority tasks get the CPU time first. Tools like Task Manager or PowerShell make process control simple. Fedora Server, on the other hand, uses the Linux kernel or loadable model for true plug and play. Its completely fair scheduler ensures equal CPU distribution, ideal for multi-user or container environment. Fedora also supports advanced memory features and flexible file system like ext4 and XFS. In short, Windows offers seamless Microsoft integration, while Fedora gives more control and flexibility ideal for custom setup.
That's good.
Okay, now let's compare Windows Server and Fedora Server performance. There are 3 key differences. First, efficiency, storage, and databases. For first comparison is CPU and memory. Windows is optimized for Intel or AMD but has higher overhead, great for Microsoft workloads. Fedora is lightweight, uses Linux file scheduler, and excels in web servers, containers, and resource-limited setups. For storage and databases, Windows leads in Microsoft App Storage performance. Fedora wins in raw throughput for HPC. For databases, SQL Server runs fastest on Windows, while SQL or MySQL often outperform on Fedora due to Linux scheduling. Security is critical for any server. So now, let's compare Windows Server and Fedora Server in 3 key areas: core features, updates, and threats. Okay, first is core security. Windows offers Defender Firewall, Active Directory, and BitLocker, ideal for centralized enterprise security. For Fedora, uses Firewall, SE Linux for strict access control and looks for encryption, giving admins granular manual control. Next is patching and updates. Windows uses WSUS for staged enterprise updates and predictable patch Tuesday cycles. Fedora's DNF delivers rapid fixes, perfect for agile environments. Lastly is threat landscape. Windows faces high malware targeting but excels in compliance-heavy setups. For Fedora has fewer attacks but requires more hardening, ideal for DevOps and cloud.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nik Haris Zuliman Ahmad Syafuddin. My metric number 1230578. Okay, for this slide, let's compare the management and the administration capabilities of Windows Server and Fedora Server. Okay, for the first item is a management tools. For Windows Server is GUI first, offering tools like PowerShell and Windows Admin Center for streamlined graphical management. Fedora Server, on the other hand, is CI first, leveraging Cockpit for website-based administration and SSH for secure. For the second item is Windows Server use PowerShell DSC for configuration management but has limited native CI/CD integration. Fedora Server excel here with native support for tools like Ansible, Puppet and Chef, along with seamless container and Kubernetes workflow. For the third item, which is remote access, Windows relies on RDP for graphical remote desktop, while Fedora uses SSH, a more lightweight and secure option for CLI access. For this slide, it shows about deployment scenario. Now, let's explore how these servers perform in cloud deployment. For the first server, which is a Windows server, it has a tight integration with Azure, making it ideal for hybrid Microsoft environment. However, it carries a higher resource overhead, which can increase costs. For the second server, which is a Fedora server, this dominates AWS and GCP Linux instance due to its lightweight nature. It costs efficient for cloud deployments, especially when scaling containerized workloads. Thank you.
Let's break down the financial aspect of Windows servers versus Fedora server. For Windows server, upfront costs include licensing fees and potentially higher hardware requirements due to its resources-intensive nature. However, it offers predictable 10-year support cycles and includes basic support. Ongoing costs involve higher administrative salaries due to specialist skills and potential Azure integration expenses. On the other hand, Fedora server has no licensing fees and runs efficiently on low spec or older hardware, reducing upfront investment. Ongoing costs include managing frequent updates every 6 months and possible training for Linux skill. However, it offers lower cloud hosting costs due to its lightweight design, and paid support is optional. This comparison highlights key trade-off between predictable enterprise support and cost-saving flexibility. To summarize, the best choice depends on your organization needs. Windows Server itself for enterprise already using the Microsoft ecosystem, teams that prefer GUI-based management, or environments requiring long-term support up to 10 years or more. Meanwhile, Fedora Server is ideal for cost-sensitive deployment with no licensing fees, code native or containerized workloads, and teams leveraging open source tools like Apache, Kubernetes or PostgreSQL. In short, Windows for stability and integration with Microsoft Fedora for agility and open source advantage.